So today we're going to be predicting the UFC's pound for pound list by the end of 2025. Let's take a look at the current pound for pound rankings. We've got Islam in at number 1, John Jones in at 2, Alex Pereira 3, Topuria 4, Bilal 5, DDP 6, Merab 7, Tom Aspinall 8, Leon Edwards 9. The fact that Leon Edwards is above Pantoja is just...
But what the hell?
And then we've got Volkanovski in at 11. So we're only going to do the top 10. We're not going to be doing top 15. We're going to do the ones that matter. The top 10. Starting off in at number 1.
Brother.
It's Islam Makhachev. Now, I was going to go for a real rogue take here, but I believe Islam is going to move up and fight in the welterweight division this year. I think he beats Arman Tsarukyan at UFC 311, and then even though that they seem to be friends, I do believe that Islam Makhachev will move up to challenge Bilal Muhammad after Bilal fights Shavkat Rakhmonov. I just see it. I just think it's going to happen. I know they train together, but we've seen Khabib talk about the potential matchup. I think it will happen. I think Islam will move up and fight for the welterweight title, and I think he will drop the lightweight title, but I feel like he will win the welterweight title as well as being the lightweight champion, then drop the lightweight title. Does that make sense? So I'm going for Islam Makhachev to be pound for pound number 1. Next up, pound for pound number 2 is going to be Tom Aspinall.
Bruh.
I believe that Tom Aspinall will beat John Jones this year. I think he will fight John Jones International Fight Week this year. It is a really close fight. I don't think it's as one-sided as what people let it on to be.
Bruh.
But I do believe Tom Aspinall will get the job done. I do believe that Tom Aspinall will get the win over John Jones. I think we will really see Tom Aspinall tested finally in his UFC career, because John Jones is the greatest of all time. I'm not his biggest fan in terms of what he does outside of the cage, but in the cage, the guy is the best. The best. But I think his time has come, and I do believe Tom Aspinall will get the win against him at UFC International Fight Week, whatever that's going to be. Tom Aspinall, pound for pound number 2. Moving on, in at number 3, we have got Ilia Topuria.
Bruh.
Now look, I think Ilia might be lightweight champion by the end of the year. I really do believe that. I do think that he's going to knock out Volkanovski, and I think he will make the move. I think Topuria will make the move to lightweight when Islam makes the move to welterweight. Not that Topuria is avoiding him or Islam's avoiding Topuria. I just feel like the UFC will then allow Topuria to move up. And then I think inevitably, maybe 2026, we are going to get Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. Topuria the lightweight champion, Islam the welterweight champion, and they're going to fight. Obviously, both belts won't be on the line, but I think it'll be champion versus champion, Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. That would then mean that Topuria could become the first ever 3-division world champion.
Brother.
So, I don't really think that's through, but I do believe that will happen. I think Topuria will be lightweight champion by the end of the year, because I think Islam is going to move up to the welterweight division. That's why I've got him in at number 3. I've told you some really rogue shouts here. I'm just really thinking ahead. Okay? Next up, in at number 4, we have got Alex Pereira. I think Pereira, this is for my predictions video, by the way, 2025 predictions. I think we're going to see Pereira fight once, maybe twice this year. Because I think he's going to fight Magomed Ankalaev, even though it does seem like he's ducking him. I do believe he will fight Magomed Ankalaev. I think he will beat Magomed Ankalaev, and then I think he'll wait to move to heavyweight, because realistically, who's he going to fight in the light heavyweight division? The only fight after Ankalaev that I can see happening is if Jamal Hill gets a really nasty KO over Yuri Prohaska, and I actually think Yuri's going to win that matchup. So for my world, I think Alex Pereira is going to be number 4 pound for pound after beating Magomed Ankalaev and waiting for his chance to fight at heavyweight. Now, we might get Pereira versus Tom Aspinall at the end of the year, and then still Tom Aspinall beats him. Either way. But I think he will be number 4. I don't think he'll be as active. Oh, spoiler for the next video. I don't think he'll be as active as what he was in 2024. Next up, in at number 5, we have got Khamzat Chimaev.
Brother.
I think he's going to beat DDP, unfortunately. I want DDP to win so bad. I do, and I think DDP can win. But I think Khamzat will win. I mean, DDP got taken down by Derek Brunson and controlled. Like I said in another video, I think Darren Till had control time over him.
Brother.
So Khamzat Chimaev, it's not looking good for him. But let's look. Say Khamzat does beat DDP. That will mean his last 3 wins would be Whitaker round 1. He beat Kamaru Usman, and then he would have beaten DDP. He would be number 5. Maybe the UFC might try and put him up a bit higher if they can. Maybe if Pereira is coming off a loss to Tom Aspinall, they might then bump Khamzat above him. But I think Khamzat will be pound for pound number 5 by the end of the year. Next up in at number 6, we have got Umar Nurmagomedov.
But what the
I
hell,
like
boy?
this guy. I don't want him to win. I want Merab to win. But I think he will beat Merab, and I think he will stop Merab in the second round by rear naked choke. That is my prediction. And because of his second name, and because of where he's from, and because he's 18-0, even though there are other people on this list that are deserving to be higher than him, I know the UFC will put this guy in at number 6.
Bruh.
I know nobody wants it, but it's what we're going to get when this guy wins the title. I'm being serious. Like I said in the previous video, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy only fights once this year. Next up, moving on, we have got Pantoja.
Bruh.
Guy should be maybe top 5. I don't think he will get that. The UFC just don't seem to give him the respect he deserves. He's the most dominant champion right now in the UFC, in my opinion. Cleared out his entire division. List goes on and on. On track to becoming the greatest of his division ever. On track. I never said he was before people get in the comments. He is on track. I think he will remain in the round number 7. I don't think he'll be in the top 5, unfortunately. I do believe he should be above Umar, but because of Umar's last name and he's undefeated, I know the UFC will put Umar above Pantoja. That's just the reality of it. Moving on to number 8.
Bruh.
I've got John Jones. I think John Jones will remain inside the top 10. I don't think he'll retire after he loses to Tom Aspinall. I don't think he'll initially announce his retirement after losing to Tom Aspinall. We might get the rematch, I'm not too sure. But I feel like when Aspinall beats him, he will go on a bit of a hiatus. And we know that Dana White is carrying his child, so Dana White will keep him inside the top 10. John Jones is going to be pound for pound number 8. That's my prediction. In at number 9, I have got Max Holloway.
But what the hell, boy?
I think Max Holloway could potentially be fighting for the lightweight title by the end of the year, because see, if you think about it, the guy's ranked inside the top 5 now of the UFC's lightweight division, and he is 1 win off. He beat Justin Gaethje, who's somehow still ranked above him, although when Umar beats Corey Sandhagen, he goes right above him.
Bruh.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. But I do believe that he will get a win and be number 1 contender for the lightweight title by the end of the year. Plus, he'll still be the BMF champion, in my opinion. Max Holloway in at number 9. And finally, to cap it off, it is going to be DDP.
Who cares? Who cares, man?
I like DDP. It was either going to be, I was going to maybe put Bilal Muhammad here. And then I was like, nah, do I put Merab, because Merab has a stacked resume? But I think they will put DDP there, to be honest. I think they will keep DDP inside the top 10. Look, like I said, some really, really rogue shouts in there. Some really, really rogue ones. However, I think this is a pretty spot-on list. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'm just finalising who is in the top 10 for you to see. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're predicting for 2025. I could be a million miles off, but that's the beauty of it. We can react to this next year. See how close, see how far off I was. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you all again in the next one.